out the cup, but now is the time to get the season back on track. Welcome back to Where the Addicks Talk with myself, Luke, and today we've got Dave, Steve, Timsy, and Alan talking all things Charlton. Right, let's start with the cup game, Dave. It's a tough, obviously, it's a very tough fixture, and it was a tough game, wasn't it, against Chelsea?
Yeah, it was a tough game. Obviously, we were hoping for a bit of a romance in the FA Cup, but let's face it, against the billionaires, it was going to ring true that they were going to start turning on the heat, and pretty credible performance, I'd say. There were some good highlights in terms of players' performance. I thought Leeburn really did well against that tough defence. Chelsea covered so much ground. As soon as we got the ball, they were on us man for man. So we just couldn't really create any sort of rhythm. And there were periods in the game. I thought TC. I thought he played really well. He put in some fantastic crosses, and I think he had a very good, performance. Again, he's always going to be judged. I know on the forum everyone slates him and hates him, but he's played out of position. We know that, but he's going to be judged obviously on crosses and goals, although he's playing as a left wing back. I think we had a great performance from the young teenager Goff. I thought he played really well. But when you're taking off a £40 million winger and bringing on an £80 million winger, you know that your chances are pretty much over. So scoreline 5-1. Don't think it should have been a penalty at the end, but it was a good day out, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You were at the game, weren't you, Steve? Was it? I mean, a player that I wanted. Obviously, you watched him again, and he's been, I think, performing better and better. He's Lee Byrne. He seems to be coming into his own a little bit.
Yeah, I was at the game, and it was lovely to see the Valley almost near capacity, which was great. It doesn't happen as often as we'd like, but it was fantastic to see so many Charlton fans back in the home stadium. Leeburn, yeah, he's starting to pick up, and then it was good yesterday. He was becoming the player that we all kind of saw when he first broke into the team. He's busy. He was getting involved. He's winning headers. He's making a nuisance of himself, and he got the goal that he deserved in the end. And I will as well give credit to TC. He was actually pretty good yesterday. If he was more like that, then I'd be happy with him. It's fine. It was Kelman I was massively disappointed with at the front ones. He was non-existent, and he just wasn't. He was giving probably, and this was probably fair across the whole team. In the first half, particularly giving too much respect to Chelsea. We were stood off them. We didn't seem to hurry them for the ball, and we were at times just waiting for them to do stuff, and it was almost a matter of time before they carved us open. 5-1 was flattering to them in the end, though. It's obviously there's a technical better side than Charlton. That's obvious, but to be honest, they if I was a Premier League team looking at them, I'd be like, I'm not too worried about Chelsea. But against a struggling Championship side, then we were always going to be up against it. But great for Leeburn to get his goal. Again, he came through the youth ranks at Chelsea as well, so that was lovely to see him be able to get back on them. And yeah, now we just get back to the importance of the Championship.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit of TC loving from Steve. Who'd have thought it, boys? Who'd have thought it? It is now time, isn't it? It is now time to get this season back on track. What's the squad looking like? Obviously, over the festive period, it was quite thin, wasn't it? And how's it looking? Are we looking at more of a healthy squad?
Sadly not. Sadly not. It looked like it was gonna be that way. We had the Godden montage getting better, coming on the grass, come out. We thought, that was pre-Chelsea. Chelsea comes round and Bell goes off with a hamstring, and it looked like he was in pain coming off. So that's probably going to be weeks, maybe months. And TC took a really nasty sort of ankle challenge. And I've seen a picture of it and it looks quite tasty. So it's going to be interesting if he's going to be maybe a couple of weeks out as well. And that leaves us extremely light on the left-hand side, which we've been saying for weeks now. Nathan Jones made a joke that he wants 5 defenders in this window now. But with the likes of the way Burke and Bell keep getting injured, Edwards, from what I have heard rumours of, won't be ready until February. We really need to shore up that left-hand side. Gillespie is just not at this level. We really, that's the area. And again, last night, like, it came from the TC defending, which he did really well. But the free kick for the second goal came from just a challenge from him where he kind of clipped the player. And maybe Edwards or something may have not gave that free kick. It's just that left-hand side, the amount of goals we concede from balls coming from that area is really quite scary. And it's no wonder that teams focus that now.
Yeah, definitely an area that needs to improve. What's it looking like, Alan? Is there any signings imminent? Are we looking at? It's got, we're a third into January now. Things have got to start heating up, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Only rumour we had is Lyndon Dykes, but it sounds like he might be going to Ipswich now, doesn't it? So he's a striker. To give a bit of help up front, I know in our chat we say we don't really think he's going to be that sort of player that we want. I don't think he's technically good enough. He's not good enough for Birmingham. He's not good enough for QPR. He's not going to be really good enough for Charlton. So maybe a loan to help us out. But Simsy's right. Obviously, that left-hand side, we do need a left-side centre-back. We do need a left wing-back. It looks like we're going to need, depending on Bree, another right wing-back. And it looks like we might need a right-side centre-back because Ramsey and Burt keep getting injured. So, yeah, he's probably not joking. He's joking about 5 defenders. He's not probably wrong. And I say that striking situation, we just need someone up top. He's putting a lot of us hope on Godden coming back in. And as I said in the previous thing we did over Christmas, he's gone up a level. He's a bit older and he's coming back from a major knee injury. If he can get us 5 goals before the end of the season, that'd be fantastic. But you're putting a lot of pressure on him. Can he handle it? Yeah, he's experienced enough and so forth, but that's a lot of pressure on us, and Josh Elper's coming back at left back.
Yeah. All good points. Like you say, when you say it out loud like that, it does sound like a real thin squad, and recruitment's needed quite quick. Yeah, desperately is the word. Desperately is the word. What are we thinking though, Dave? Obviously, at the start of the season, you get promoted. Everyone's Nathan Jones' biggest fan. Start the season superbly. Everyone is, everyone within Charlton is singing Nathan Jones' praises. Everyone outside never has. But what's the state of affairs now? Are the fan base still behind Nathan Jones?
I think, I think so. To be honest, it's this is where we're at. It's reality. We buy players like Burke and Bell, who have had a couple of injuries, let's see, in the last couple of seasons. That's the type of players we can really afford at this level. Our strategy as a club is about bringing in younger players from the lower leagues. So it is going to be those top performers from League One and developing them. And that ain't going to happen overnight. But saying that, we do need, as we've mentioned, we do need that bit of championship. Unfortunately, we're going to have to dig into the bank to get a bit of experience. Whether that's going to be through loans, I don't know. But in terms of Nathan Jones, I think there's always going to be grumblings, isn't there, about your manager when your form's not great. But you can't doubt his passion, but I think I am a bit concerned sometimes that he's just stuck with the same formation, and he's tried to put the square hole in the round peg, So for example, TC, keep playing him at left wing back. I'm sure, like we found through Goff, getting players from the under 21, under 23 team, we can fit someone in to fit that gap. But I don't know. He's. I do think there have been occasions this season that he could have changed formation a bit.
I think he's going to have to. I think he's going to have to next game because we didn't need defenders, have we?
Yeah.
All up top.
Well, this is it. So I think he's coming under pressure from that level, I think. But in terms of where we are, we may be, we got up into the championship, a season ahead of our plan, but we've just got to deal with it, and that means changing your strategy a bit.
Yeah. I think it's difficult because Charlton has such a good start of the season, so everybody's expectations grew. But when you look at it right now, you'd have probably taken this position come January. That's my personal opinion. I don't know what you guys.
I said if you get all our games and put them in the wins and losses, and instead of looking at it like that, just put them in a bag, threw them in the air, it fell on the floor. If you accepted loss, win, draw, we'd be fantastic. Yeah. It's unfortunately we've got to fit in a bit injury squad, and it is what it is at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. What about yourself, Steve? Are you Nathan Jones still in it? It's important, I think, to stay as a unit, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I see it we're at the point still where Jones is doing a perfectly good enough job for us as we stand at this point in time now. If you throw us 12 months in the future and we're in January 2027 and we were having exactly the same conversation where we are now, maybe there would be reason to start questioning things if you're not learning from what's happening this season. But as we are at this moment in time, I mean, there's been no game week that we've finished where we're in the bottom three. So at this point in the season, we as the club, we haven't been in a relegation spot at a single point. Now, obviously, we want that to continue for the rest of the year, but I would have expected coming into this division that we would have been in the bottom three at some point, and to have not been is a testament to the team as it is. We do just need this January is so key to us. It's going to be make or break, because if we don't bring in the right players, or we don't bring in enough of the right players to give us a fighting chance for the rest of the season, then I think with the current team, we are going to struggle, and we are going to be down at the bottom end, fighting for one of those to avoid one of those three relegation spots. But I'm still very much, Jones is the right man at this time. I think he does have a ceiling as a manager. I think he is a championship at best manager. So if we want to progress in the future, possibly you have to look beyond him. But where we are as a club, he's the man for us.
Yeah, it's important to stay together as the fan base, the manager, the players, etc. Right, so we're moving on to Sheffield United. Timsy, what is your score predictions and what are you expecting from the game?
I to be honest, I expect us to put a performance out there. That's what I expect, is us to put a performance out. But I am very concerned about injuries. Even if we get players in this late this week, when will they be in this week? I think Jones can be happy throwing them straight in, unless it's a player he's had before, so a typical post Luton player, or a player he's had before he trusts, like Bree. I can't see that happening. Bree had actually quite a good a game against Chelsea, I felt, but I'm quite surprised we haven't tried him on the left, because he has played there before and then got someone on the right in, because we've got some really good youth right players. So I don't know if that may be something we try this week. Is moving them to the left and then having someone else on the right if Ramsey's fixed. So I would be more happy with that than leaving Gillespie quite wide open to anyone else on that left. That really concerns me, to Gillespie. I can see a draw, to be honest. And I'm going to go for probably a 1-1 draw. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good point. Definitely.
It's worth remembering with Bree as well that he's got this. The 17th is in the game, the Sheffield United game. That's technically his last day at the Valley, so we might actually not have him after that. So I'm not sure if Nathan's going to be experimenting with someone who might not be there the next day.
That's a good point. Is it not looking like he'll get an extension on the contract?
It's an odd one because he's on loan from Southampton, and we just don't know if you'd have thought if he was going to be extended, it might have been done by now, but we don't know if there's another player in the works that he's looking at that he wants to bring in that position. But you'd expect him to have kind of extended that Bree deal by now, I'd have thought.
Yeah, interesting. Right, we are now on to our feature, the A to Z, and we're on to the letter K. This week, we're going to do it slightly differently. So we're going to do the good, the bad, and the ugly of the letter K. And Dave, it is for yourself, please, mate. Please take it away.
Yeah, sure. So, right, starting with the good, we've had some real good players, noticeably like England international, Ezri Konsa, Konchesky, Dean Kiley in the sticks. He was a really good keeper for us in our Premiership years. Kermigan, and also Kisichev, another great midfielder for us. But right out there on his own was King Seller, Mark Kinsella. He played over 200 games for us, and he was regularly in the top 10 stats as a midfielder in the league when we were in the Premier League. So he was at a turning point, I think, for when Charlton were a once stable Premiership club. And we've got some potentially good players of the future through youngsters like Kelman, Canu, Kaminski's doing well for us in the goal. But in terms of the bad, well, we had a player called Tresor Candol. Jesus Christ, this player, he tried his best, but it just wasn't in the right ball game. I don't think he should have been playing football. And then we had Sully Kai for Sierra Leone international. Again, he didn't really cut it at our level. I think at the moment he's playing for Cambridge United. He scored yesterday in the FA Cup against Birmingham. But then we go really ugly, well, none more so than our once like big hope to turn our club around was Charlie Kirk when we were down in League One. We spent like $500,000 on him for a 4-year contract, and in paper he looked great. Crew, great young player, scored 9 goals, did lots of assists. But when he came to Charlton, it was just like he'd blow on him, and he'd fall over. He was just like. I don't know where this talent was that we saw all these amazing YouTube clips for. Hence, we signed him on a 4-year contract, and they terminated his contract after a year and a half. And then we had a funny, ugly player called Anil Koch. He was brought in from Standard Liège when we were under the ownership of Roland Rat. So it was never going to work out for him, and surprisingly, he didn't even play for us. That's the good, the bad, and the ugly of the letter K.
Love it. It's funny you mentioned about obviously we're in the January transfer window, so everybody's doing that, looking on YouTube. Any player that you link with that's from somewhere you might not watch too much of the football, and everyone's straight on YouTube looking at clips, and they look like well beaters, don't they? And then they come to your club and they got 2 left feet. It's crazy. It's crazy. Right, we are finishing with tweet of the week. So it's a little bit of a passionate one, let's put it that way, from a Charlton fan, and it is useless manager, useless players, brought in some proper rubbish players in the summer. So the question to you, Alan, is: do you think recruitment in the summer has been the issue to where things are at now, or do you think that fan hasn't got a clue?
No, it's sort of right. It was sort of right. I mean, at the start of the season, we thought everything we got was rosy, and we all got the best, position to sort of sort it out. And it's the problem is like everyone knows, it's the injuries. They're injury prone. You go into them, they're out for 3 months. But we've already covered it in terms of what we can do. We're a newly promoted club. Technically, out of all of our clubs, we are the last of the run coming up sort of thing. So we should really be bottom of the league. So where we are in terms of recruitment, yes, we have to get it right spot on, because I do believe that Portsmouth, I've watched them in the FA Cup today, and they don't look like a team. They really gave Arsenal a game. The scoreline completely different to what we were. We they had a go and we didn't, type thing. You know what I mean? So I think they're going to get out of it. So it's us and Oxford, and if we can drag someone down, I don't know. So we have got to get some players in. Nathan Jones knows it. It's just the problem is when you're desperate for a player, that's an extra $100,000 on that. So the agent wants another 50 grand. Like the situation with Bree, what's going on? Southampton say, well, you want him, we don't, or we want to keep him bring him back, or because they've got a new manager. So you don't know what the situation is behind the scenes. Yeah. Bree might want an extra naught on his contract. You don't know. So we've got to get some players in.
Very true. Very true. It's not, this isn't FIFA. It's not as easy to go and buy players like that. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. And like you say, January's a hard window anyway. And then when other clubs know that you need players and quick, then it's difficult negotiations. But let's leave it positive. I think we're into 2026 now, going into the second part of the season. I think Charlton fans have a lot to be happy about, definitely. Thank you, boys, for a great conversation. Thank you, everybody, for watching at home. Please like and subscribe, and please get involved in the comments below.